I want to share with you 4 different things that I am focusing on to get fit AF, ripped, jacked at the age of 49 years old. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather. I make videos about yoga and fitness for those of us over the age of 40 working hard to build a strong, healthy, fit, athletic body. And I want to share with you something that I'm working on personally. These are the things that I am doing personally to get just like super fit, super in shape. I want to look aesthetically fit. I want to be fit, all that stuff. So I always say, though, I'm going to give a little caveat here that I am a sort of the poster child for that being fit and sort of looking athletic and fit aren't necessarily the same things. Have shared oftentimes that at my heaviest weight, I actually hiked the Grand Canyon from the one rim to the other, 24 miles in one day at the heaviest weight of my life. I was 60 pounds overweight. Didn't necessarily look athletic, didn't necessarily look fit, but I was extremely fit. I was at a point in life where I could just get up at any point. I could hike 12, 15 miles, absolutely no problem. So I'm going to give that little caveat here that looking fit and being fit aren't always the same things. So what I'm doing now, the project that I'm sort of working on for myself is just taking time to just see how, I want to get fit AF. All right. And this idea started when I was hiking with a friend and she's like, well, what is it that you're working on? What is it that you're doing? We talk about goals and what kinds of things are you working on? And I'm like, I'm going to take a year and just get fit AF. I'm just going to see how fit I can get. And I believe in this so much that I actually even wrote a book. It is called What Until You Can Give Yourself a Year. All right. And it's this idea of just slowing down and, just be done with these 30-day challenges, these 6-week challenges, and give yourself some time. Give yourself some time to get through life's transition. In a year, you're going to go through holidays. You might go through, some good times. You're going to go through some bad times. And giving yourself that year kind of takes that pressure off of you. All right. And these are the 4 things that I want to share with you that I really try to focus in on as I'm working to get fit AF at the age of 49 years old. The first thing that I am focusing on is my nutrition. And I have shifted my mindset around nutrition to become one that I am fueling my body. I'm giving my body the things that it needs to be able to do the workouts that I want to do be able to do the hiking that I want to be able to do, to have the mental capacity to be able to think and not have so much brain fog. I certainly still have brain fog. I'm 49 years old. It's just part of it right now. And just being able to have that mental clarity so I can do my job and I can work and I can make decisions and I can do all the things. So I changed my mindset around food to become more like I'm fueling my body so that I can do the things that I want to do. So what does that mean? You're like, well, that's great, Heather. What does that mean? What that means is, for me, this is what works for me, is really focusing on protein. So protein as the main source of food. Build a meal around your protein. Pick your protein source first and then build your meal around that. I do have a video about talking a little bit more about what does it mean to prioritize protein. You can watch that video. So I pick a meal, and then from that meal, I pick the protein source, build the meal around the protein source. So for example, for breakfast, if I'm going to have a protein shake, it's what's going to be in the protein shake. Am I going to have the protein shake alone? Am I going to add a good source of healthy fat to it? Am I going to add, some fruits and vegetables to it? What is that going to look like? This is a brand of protein that I do use. It's the Isolene Performance Protein. I've got a link in the description if you want to check that out. I've also got another video where I talk, I like trying protein powders. So I have a whole bunch of different protein powders that I share. It's actually a meetup that we had in my community called Operation Fit AF, where I reviewed all of these different protein powders and just kind of shared what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them. But this is one that I've used since 2012. I drink it almost every single day. I like the texture. I like the flavor. It works well for me. So if you want to check that out, link is in the description for you. So prioritizing protein, lunch might be chicken. So what am I going to eat with the chicken? So for tomorrow, for example, I've got some chicken, some roasted chicken, and I've got a salad left over from dinner tonight. So I'm going to put the chicken on the salad. That's going to be my lunch. Okay. So prioritizing protein, eating a lot of fruits, vegetables, and healthy fat. So how do you figure out exactly how much you should be eating? Well, it's going to depend a lot on your goals. It's going to depend a lot on what you like, what you don't like, what food intolerances do you have? Do you have any food allergies? Things like this. Okay. So my general recommendation is to build your plate. So take a plate, divide it into quarters. 1/4 of that plate is a source of protein. 1/4 of the plate is a complex carbohydrate. So something like quinoa or a sweet potato or something like that. And then half the plate is fruits and veggies. Okay. And then you can sprinkle in some healthy fats in there. It might be some nuts. It might be some avocado, could be some healthy fat oils. You have a lot of different options here. As you're getting a little bit more serious about your goals, you really have a very defined goal. You know that you want to look fit. You want to look a certain way. You want to start tracking what's called your macros, your macronutrients, your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. And so it goes a little bit deeper than tracking just your calories. You're tracking what makes up those calories. And if you're not certain what that is, not certain what that means, I do have a free nutrition guide. It's a nutrition kit. And in that kit, it's a nice handout that helps you to understand what protein, carbs, fats are. How are you going to build your plate? Some good sources of protein. You also get a recipe pack. It's 5 ingredient recipes. There's 40 recipes in there, 5 ingredients. So super simple, very easy. And then I've also got a protein shake recipe pack in there for you as well. So you can go to heathermonthly.com/nutrition. You can grab that free PDF. It's a pack of PDFs actually. So that's the first thing, is really focusing on nutrition, breaking it up into protein, carbohydrates, and fats. The second thing that I'm working on as I'm working on getting ripped, fit AF, whatever you want to call it, at the age of 49, is my movement. Okay. So I am a yoga teacher. I love yoga. I absolutely think it's wonderful movement. But for many women, if you're a woman over 40, you need to be lifting weights. Lifting weights over the age of 40 is oftentimes going to give you the body that you're looking for, that you want it to look a certain way. Lifting weights is what's going to really help to sculpt your body. So when you want to look fit, you want to look athletic, what that is that you've got muscle, but your body fat is low enough that you can actually see the muscle. Okay. So you can get thin, you can get skinny, you can have low body fat, but if there's no muscle under there to see, you're not going to necessarily look the way that you want to look. All right. And so focusing on your movement is going to be, your weightlifting, some sort of daily movement every single day. I've also shifted my training from sort of this aesthetic way of training. I really started this whole journey that I wanted to lose weight so that I could become a faster hiker. I'd done all these things. I'd done some training and I broke my leg. I went through physical therapy, did all these things to try to become a faster hiker. But I was just kind of at this point where it's like, I'm carrying around 60 extra pounds. I need to lose weight to become a faster hiker. In that process of losing weight, my muscle was starting to be revealed that I had under there. And that's when I started getting back into bodybuilding competitions, which is an aesthetic sport. So it's clearly just like, how do you look? How do you present yourself, right? But my training, I have shifted it to thinking more about performance. What are some of the things that I can do with my body? How much weight can I lift? Can I do this movement? You know what? Even at the gym, just this last week, I realized I'm able to squat down like this, coming down onto my knee and then coming back up. 49 years old, I couldn't do that a year ago. I couldn't even do that probably 6 months ago. And just by doing focused weight training, focusing on my body's strength and the things that I can do, and then celebrating some of these small wins of things that I can do, has really changed my mind about how I approach my training. I do have a program called Operation Fit AF. This is a group of us who are working on this long haul, this idea of giving yourself a year, working on yourself, working on your mind, your body, your spirit, all these things. And I do offer up the workouts that I do. You can go to operationfitaf.com if you want to check that out. So number one, the first thing is nutrition. The second thing is movement, specifically weightlifting. And then the third thing is stress management. So, just in life as an adult, we have stress. There's things in our life that cause stress. We're not going to get rid of stress. So the goal here is not to just get rid of stress. Okay. I do say one quick tactical thing that you can do is go through your calendar and decide what you can decline, decide what you can say no to. What kinds of things can you get off your calendar? All right. Too many of us say yes to things we shouldn't be saying yes to. And that's one really super quick thing that you can do to help reduce your stress. Go through your calendar and what can you decline? What can you say no to? Okay. What can you delegate out to somebody else? Think about it. All right. But with your stress management, it's what are you doing sort of longer term to help you manage stress? You've got stress in your life. There's no getting around it. Bottom line, you have work stress, family stress, yeah, there's stress, bills, all that stuff. Okay. So how are you going to manage it? How are you going to handle it? Because your body is taking all of that in. And I do suggest that you find a way to help manage your stress. And it's what are you doing every single day to help manage your stress? I'm a yoga teacher, so I'm going to suggest you to try out a yoga class. I do have videos here on YouTube. You can try it out. I've got a program called Yoga for Inflexible Active Adults. You could try that out as well. Link is in the description if you want to check that out. So I am going to suggest yoga. That's my personal opinion. I also do something called sound baths, which I haven't told anybody this just yet, but I did start a separate YouTube channel where I'm going to post some sound baths specifically for nervous system reset and athletic recovery. So what these are sound baths. You can find it. You can type into Google sound baths near me and you can find people that have musical instruments. I specifically have crystal singing bowls. I've got chimes. I've got a rain stick. I got all the good stuff, right? But you'll go there and you'll lie on the ground. You might do some yoga with it. But it's, a dedicated set of time that you can listen to these instruments, these beautiful instruments that really help to reset your nervous system. Okay. That's something you can do. You might want to check it out. Like I said, I haven't even told anybody about this yet. And, but also finding other things. If yoga or sound baths, like that's not your thing, what is your thing to help you manage stress? Are you going to go on a walk every single day? Maybe read a book. What kinds of things can you do that it's like, these are things that you enjoy doing? Think about the things that you used to do as a kid that you loved doing. You absolutely loved doing, but you stopped doing them. You stopped doing them because you became an adult. Life got in the way. Responsibilities happened. What are those things? Was it painting? Was it sculpting? Was it making jewelry? Maybe explore that again. Okay. So first thing, nutrition. Second thing, building muscles. Third thing is going to be stress management. Fourth thing is sleep. Now, I'm 49 years old. I've got the hormonal things going on. You also might be somebody who is in this situation where it's just like sleep has become this elusive thing, right? And, there's a lot of different things that you can do. You can see your physician, get hormones tested, all that kind of stuff. That's not the purpose of this channel. It's certainly outside of my scope of expertise. But what I have found for myself, what really works well is that sleep is important to me and I do schedule life around it. So what does that mean? That means I know that I don't sleep very well if I have food in my stomach when I go to bed. So I eat dinner early. Cheers to the 4 and 5 p.m. meals, right? That's how you know you're getting older. So I'm pretty much done eating by 6 o'clock at the very latest. So that my food has time to digest before I go to bed. I do go to bed at the same time every single night. I don't always lay down and go to sleep. Sometimes I scroll my phone. That is a time that I get on YouTube. I do know that's a bad habit of mine, but I'm in bed. I'm in bed. It's the same time every single night. And then I shut the lights out and I attempt to sleep. Most nights I sleep pretty good. Sometimes I wake up to go to the bathroom, can't fall back asleep, or you get that sort of that jolt awake, it's time to wake up, right? But it's 2:30. And so paying attention to some of the things that help you to sleep better. And then if you do wake up in the middle of the night, what are you doing to help yourself fall back asleep? If you can't fall back asleep, what are you doing? I used to be this person that, okay, it's 3 o'clock. I woke up. I would get up out of bed. Don't do that. Just stay in bed, get some rest. You're relaxing. You're allowing your body to still rest. The other thing to think about is drinking alcohol. And alcohol can certainly impact your sleep. And I have found that since cutting way back on alcohol, you could probably count, I would say probably over the last year, I've had maybe 1 bottle of wine total. And it's just kind of come to this point in life where it's if I drink a glass of wine, I already know I'm going to sleep like crap. And it's just not worth it to me. So sleep has become an important part of my wellness routine, that I do make decisions throughout the day that I know are going to impact my sleep at night. So I'm both positive and negative. So paying attention to that. And the 4 things I'm really focusing on to get fit AF, to get ripped, to get jacked at the age of 49 is nutrition, weight training, stress management, and getting some good solid sleep. So check out the links I've got in the description for you. I've got links to all sorts of really great goodies for you. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about yoga, I do have a program. I've got a playlist here on YouTube. You can watch it here on YouTube, but you can also get it for free on my website. Everything's all in one spot. It's got a handout and all the videos, all the good stuff for you there. So you can go to inflexible.yogabyheather.com and grab that there. I'll see you in the next video.